Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome or welcome back. My name is Rebecca. I am a stay-at-home mom of 2 and I just wanted to try a new type of video. I don't normally do grocery hauls, but I watch them quite often just to kind of get some inspiration. Sometimes you'll hear people talk about what they're making with their meals, so I thought it would be fun to do a quick
with those groceries and a little bit of the way that we actually meal plan.
I'm gonna get on into it. These tortillas are the best. We've tried probably every brand you can think of. Tortillas are always on hand in our house. They're a great vessel for everything. My husband read an article and these are supposedly the best chocolate chip cookies that come in a package, so we'll try those later in the video. This particular brand of enchilada sauce, if you've never tried it, definitely pick it up. We use it for everything, especially in the crock pot. It's amazing and it stews down really well. We just ran out of soy sauce, so we needed that. And my husband picked up quite a few things of these noodles. Those are always just simple to have on hand. They are salty, but I mean, they just taste good. These Annie's bunnies, my sons love them. Sometimes we'll do them with lunch, with fruit and veggies, or with dinner. You can serve it with rice on the side or what have you. Applesauce and graham crackers are a must. If you have toddlers, then you know you go through it really quickly. So if we find stuff on sale, then we just pick it up. This is my favorite brand of coffee, so I always have that on hand, and Oreos are definitely, this is the sweet tooth area. These cinnamon rolls are to die for, so those are a great breakfast item. Occasionally my husband will pick up a Rockstar or Monster sometimes. He's not really a big coffee drinker, if any at all, so that's more my department. And then the Faye Total, they're 5% milk fat Greek yogurt. I swear by this. We actually stopped eating sour cream and we use the yogurt on dishes in replacement for sour cream. It's healthier, and honestly, like, we just got used to the taste. Here's some of the fruits and veggies that I washed. We always have strawberries and bananas. I grabbed a bag of potatoes, and we always have to have tomatoes, avocado, and cucumber. My oldest one loves tomatoes and avocado. It's basically with every dish. I grabbed a cabbage. We always buy zucchini and some sort of form of bell pepper. So those are usually like the typical vegetables and fruit that we'll keep on hand. I grabbed some biscuits and some gravy. That's a great simple breakfast that we love to have on the weekends. I apologize, this footage is flipped around. I do have a 1-year-old. He's still teething, so fruits and veggies through these pouches, you know, kind of just take a win when you can get it. So those are always on hand lately. He still does eat whole food, but I like to keep those just in case he's not in the mood to chew. And if you have little ones again, then you know you just kind of take your win when you can get it. He still does like these puffs, but we are phasing out to just Cheerios and other dry cereal. I grabbed a half and half for my coffee, and I also grabbed this Starbucks creamer. I go through creamers. I switch it up every week. I don't usually eat the same one. I had some hummus, and I grabbed some tortilla chips, a sweet butter lettuce, and a cucumber, and bread. This is my favorite bread. I have one son that will eat this one, and then I have another son. My 3-year-old will only eat wheat bread, so we always have 2 or 3 different loaves of bread every week in the house. Nutri-Grains are a staple, especially for our little ones, and some oatmeal. Those are just great, easy breakfasts to have on hand. And then milk, of course. I have 2 little boys, and we go through milk like water. So I grabbed a couple gallons of those, some Clorox wipes, because, you know, you just never have enough of those. I also purchased some local honey because that's just always good to have on hand. Some hatch green chili, jalapeno slices for nachos. We always like to have nachos. An easy backup dinner. Jelly. My little one is into peanut butter and jelly lately for lunch, so we're going through jelly and peanut butter pretty quickly around here. I found these cups. How cute are they? They're moving on to the cold items. We picked up 2 veggie blends for frozen veggies. They're great to have on hand. Some Eggo waffles. My boys eat these yogurts, both boxes, in a week. Some quick dinners, the Taquitos, Carnitas, and we always have ground beef and bacon on hand. My husband found a great sale on bacon. We like to eat the grass-fed beef. It just tastes better, particularly this brand. That's why sometimes we go to the one particular store. We go to Rayleigh's for a meat. There was a great sale on bacon, which if you eat bacon, it's pretty expensive. And we always have a large bag of cheese. I found some time in between cooking a dinner, and I'll share a few dinner recipes later in the video. I found some time to kind of loosely meal plan. I don't like to meal plan strictly, like each day is going to be, dinner XYZ. We like to just come up with meals for the week, and then whatever we're feeling that day or the night before, we'll pull out the meat. And if we find meat on sale, we'll usually just pick it up and put it in the freezer. Obviously, we use it within the time it needs to be used, but you'll see I'm just jotting everything down that we had in the fridge so that I could compile a list of what needs to be used. We like to make sure that we offer some form of protein, a starch, and a vegetable. So you'll see here I'm just writing everything down. And then I just came up with a really quick list of what needed to be used and a few meals or backup meals we could use for the week. So getting into some of the meals. This one was super quick and simple. It was just steamed rice with veggies, and I love that I can do it all in one. And these Polish kielbasa sausages, we love those. They're easy, and I know my kids will eat them. The second one are these Carnitas. We love to make them in the crock pot, but sometimes you just don't have time, so it's okay to just accept help when you can. And if that means buying something pre-made, then put some love into it, and you've got a great meal. I just chop up some tomatoes. I make a quick guacamole, and if you've watched my channel before, we probably have seen this in every other video where I share a meal. My kids love to eat it. They go through this stage where they love avocado plain and didn't like guacamole, and now my kids love guacamole but don't like plain avocado. So like I said before, you just take a win when you can. I like serving cucumbers, especially my little guy who's teething. It's cold, and it's a great way to get not only water but a different texture for them to chew on. So I just cut those up. And then these Carnitas are super easy. You just pan fry with no oil, and they turn out amazing. Again, with the taking a shortcut or whatever you want to call it, I'll just use canned beans, steam them over boiling water, add some seasoning, and then I'll smash them however you like. Sometimes we like them a little runnier and a little smoother. Sometimes I'll just leave them a little bit chunky. It honestly just depends on the time that I have. Typically with the Carnitas, we do split the package in half. Again, I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, so they don't typically eat that much. So we will stretch meals with like rice and beans or potatoes. I'm making a super simple Spanish rice in the rice cooker. If you have little ones, then it's just honestly one of those things that I don't have to babysit while I'm trying to prepare dinner. I do like to make Spanish rice on the stove, but adding this seasoning, I found that it's something that my little guys will actually eat. When I have the time to actually make it on the stove, I'll do that. Otherwise, I will utilize the appliances that I have. We like to serve it with the Greek yogurt over top or with the hatch green chili sauce. It's super delicious. Getting into the next meal, I lost some of the footage, but I would call it kind of like a deconstructed maybe cabbage roll. I don't really know what this is called, but it's something that my husband and I kind of just played around with, and we use it in so many different ways. So the base of this meal is ground beef, cabbage, and sometimes we do it with tomato paste, sometimes we don't. It's really simple, it's extremely budget friendly, and it's versatile. So I'll just ground the ground beef up, and I won't really season it too heavily because I add bacon bits. The bacon bits do pair well with the cabbage once the cabbage sweats down. And then I'll add a few teaspoons, loosely measured teaspoons of tomato paste. Let it all simmer, and once the tomato paste is inside the pot with the ground beef, and I feel like it's kind of covered most of the meat, I'll add a little bit of water, not too much because the cabbage is going to omit quite a bit of moisture. This is a one-pot dinner that I am super interested in anytime I'm just in a pinch and I know we have it on hand. Season it how you wish. We typically use an entire head of cabbage. It's healthy. We'll serve it over rice with like fresh tomatoes on top and a little bit of cheese, or sometimes we'll throw it over nachos, and it's a great way to get my little ones to actually eat cabbage. If you get your little one to eat it, please let me know how, but this is just a really budget-friendly, quick, simple, healthy dinner that I know we can use in multiple ways. So it's typically something that we always have on hand. We served it this night over rice, and it turned out really good.
So here are the cookies that I mentioned earlier in the video. I was pretty skeptical, if I can say. These were super easy. I was not thrilled that they were gonna taste amazing like my husband had read, but I was super interested to see how they would turn out. They are made mostly with brown sugar. I think that's where quite a bit of the sweetness comes from. I will say I was totally wrong, and they were delicious. They do not look like a typical chocolate chip cookie, and they do bake a little bit differently. But if you've never tried this brand and you're looking for something simple to just whip up and have on hand, this is definitely something that I think that we'll keep in our pantry. And again, with like minimal effort, I was able to just pop them in the oven, but when you open them, they are so soft and gooey. Getting back into the next meal, again, I'm using the rice cooker. We always rinse our rice, obviously, until the water runs clear. Again, back to that Spanish rice seasoning, and there's so many different seasonings out there you can use. This just happens to be one that I know my kids will eat. We made these chicken and cheese taquitos, and they were pretty good. It was definitely something that my husband and I used to enjoy before we had our kids, so it was kind of fun to see if the kids would actually eat them. Pay attention to the directions on the back. I just popped them in the oven at 400. We like them a little bit crispier, so we always typically cook them for a little bit longer. So while those were on the oven, I had prepped everything else. You know, the rice I had made, I can of black beans, and we turn any kind of bean into refried beans. Doesn't matter if it's kidney, black beans, pintos, honestly, whatever we have left over. I found a salad that was left over from the night before, so I pulled that out also just to get eaten. This is how dinner turned out. It was really good. It was quick, and it satisfied everybody. I've mentioned this planner before. I made it. I will link it down below. I had some time. You saw the clips earlier, so I just was deciding which way, if I really wanted to sit down and actually, meal plan every day of the week, and I decided no, I was just going to write a list and call it a day. Getting back into the last meal, we did BLTs. Again, my husband found bacon for an amazing price. I'm laughing at myself editing this video, and I was laughing because my husband came out and he's like, hey, you're still cooking bacon. I put the foil in the wrong basket portion. There's a YouTube short on my channel. Check it out. It's how to cook bacon in the air fryer with minimal cleanup. I ended up putting the foil in the bottom of the basket just to make sure that I cooked the bacon correctly, and it was super crispy on both sides, so I ended up having to redo some pieces. But regardless, it's a super simple dinner. We served it with fruit on the side, so I just cut up some of the butter lettuce. I always keep lettuce on hand, whether it's going to be made for a salad, sandwiches, what have you. Salad is super versatile. And we don't eat mayonnaise. My kids don't eat it. My husband doesn't eat it. I love it. Honestly, it's just something I don't pick up anymore, but avocado is just as creamy, and it's a little bit healthier, so I just assembled the sandwiches. It's super simple. Again, it's basically, minimal cleanup with just the air fryer and cutting up some fresh items to go on the side. You could serve it with chips. You could make french fries with the bacon. So that's gonna wrap up this video. Let me know if you like this style of video, if you want to see more content like this. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.